Hey, what's going on, y'all? Well, today on MeatCranium Barbecue and Review, you, the people, have spoken. I did a community poll and I asked, what should my very first cook be on? The Okj Bronco. So about 44%, I gave a bunch of different multiple choices. 44% said, we want to see a brisket cook. And some people said, you know, brisket cook, that's kind of the standard bearer when it comes to barbecue, so we want to see a brisket. Your wish is my command. So I got inside the house right now a 16.47 pound prime brisket I got from Costco. I'm gonna trim up a little bit, trim up some fat, and I'm gonna put inside the Okj Bronco. Let me show you guys how I got this this smoker set up for this cook. So this is pretty cool. So let me get the camera switched around and let's show you. All right, so this is what I've done right here. Okay, so this is some of the few coals I had left over from when I seasoned the grill. I put a couple bricks right here, and I got my water on this side. So I'm gonna be putting all the coals over on this side, and the brisket's gonna be right here. It's gonna hang right over the water, so the fat and stuff's gonna drip into the water. I think, hopefully, I'm gonna have the fat on this side, so the fat is facing towards the coals, and I'm gonna hang it up here. And so from here to right here, I have, I think it's 21 inches. I measured the brisket. The brisket will hang here perfectly fine, and I'm going to use 4 hooks. I'm gonna daisy chain it and hang it down right here over the water, put water in there, and when I need to add some more coals, it'll be easy to do so because the brisket's not going to be in my way. I'll be able to add coals to right here with hopefully no problem of disturbing the brisket. That's my setup. That's what I'm doing. Gonna get inside. I'm going to trim up the brisket. I'm gonna use 2 different kind of rubs on there. I'm gonna use a base layer of some Heaven Made products, and then I got a Heath Riles garlic jalapeno rub. Picked that up yesterday. Really good stuff. And I gotta put that on there, get this brisket on. I'm filming this in the morning. I'm probably gonna put the brisket on probably tomorrow. Gonna let those rubs and stuff sit on there overnight. And so I'll be revisiting this and getting a brisket on tomorrow morning. Let's get started. 16.5 pound. So this is one we put on there as my binder. I'll be using wort sauce. Gonna use some It's Incredible as a base. And then the top coating is gonna be some Heath Riles garlic jalapeno rub. This is some really good stuff. These two are gonna go perfectly together. Now I went ahead and I washed my meat. Look, my wife's laughing. I washed my meat. That's all there is to it. Look, y'all need to wash your meat too. It's pretty nasty if you don't wash your meat. I know what some of the bigger YouTubers say, that you don't need it. Don't wash your meat, leave all the enzymes on there. But let me give you some thought about something. The butcher that's cutting it, well, if he's, he scratches his rear end or, doing something else, picking his nose, and he goes ahead and he touches the meat and you don't wash it, that's pretty gross. All right, I know that, look, use a low flow type of water so water doesn't splatter all over the place, but look, wash your meat. It's just gross if you don't wash your meat. Wash your meat and then dry it off. Let's get back to this. All right, so here we go. So we get all this fat here on the bottom. Gonna get this, look at this nice marbling. It took me a while to pick this one out, and I looked at, there was about 8 of them. I picked these all out. So I'm gonna go ahead, just gonna trim off some of this fat here on the bottom. Now if I go ahead and I trim this, I can actually separate these 2 pieces. I can separate the flat from the point, but I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna trim a lot of the fat up off the point. So what you want to do is you want to get this fat down and leave the fat on the flat, so it's more, instead of it being like this, it's more kind of like even, so it cooks more evenly. Alright, so this is why I chose this brisket. Look right here, okay? It's got a nice aerodynamic feel to it. I might actually trim a little bit more right here. But look, this is a thick flat. That is, you probably can't see it to do much justice, but that is a nice, really thick flat. And that fat cap is already pretty much trimmed. It's pretty thin, so I'm not really too worried about that. But overall, since this is gonna be down on the hotter end, this should cook evenly with this end, because this is going to be towards the top where it's going to be cooler at. I'm going to get the binder and going to get the rubs on here. I don't know why I keep pointing with my middle finger, not sending a message to nobody. Alright, well I got everything cleaned up, and now it's time to put the binder on, which again I'm doing wort sauce. That's it. Gonna put it into the fridge. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hi y'all, this is the next morning. It is almost 7:30 in the morning right now. I had the alarm set for 6 o'clock. I said, nah, I was too tired. So this is 7:30, plus I'll have to set up my lights and everything else to get out here when it's dark. So this is what I got right now for a setup. All right, so I'm putting the charcoal in a bowl I had left over from my old Brinkman smoking grill. That's the only thing I have left over from that grill, is I still use the bowl. So I still have that. I'm gonna put the charcoals in that, and then I'm gonna take that, then I'm gonna pour it into here. This is some piece of hickory wood I had left over that I have in the back of my truck. I have some hickory, pecan, pear wood, and this is hickory. Fill these water cans up, and my water cans will go right here. So I'm gonna get these coals lit and get this sucker started. Okay, so right now the pit is reading 255 right here. It had these like right next to the smoker, so it's pick up some of that radiant heat coming off it. But yeah, it was just reading 60, or it was 61 degrees outside, and the pit is inside is 255. That's perfect for brisket. Between 250 and 275 is what I want. Now let's look at the brisket. So this has been sitting on the counter now for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Looks kind of like what it did yesterday, huh? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna daisy chain this bad boy. I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna put the fat towards the heat, and the meat toward the side of the wall of the pit. I'm hooking the wrong freaking end. I should be hooking the flat. Oh, I'm so stupid. Alright, wish me luck. Here we go. Just got the temperature probes in, just got the hooks all in, and now it's time to put it in. Hopefully this thing is going to go according to plan. Only thing I gotta do is try to contend with this ink bird and all the wires coming off it. That's one thing that really sucks about this thing. Okay, let's see if I can get this thing on here without completely screwing everything up. Okay, now the next test is going to be, can I shut the lid? Okay, I got all the wires. I have one right here for a pit tap, one here in the flat, I got one here down here in the point. Now it's time to shut the lid and hope nothing gets bunched up. Probably 8 o'clock? Yeah, it's got to be around 8 o'clock, because last time I looked it was like 7:45. It's been about 15-minute process, so it's about 8 o'clock right now, 8 a.m. Alright, so it is about 9:45, so the brisket's been on now about 1 hour and 45 minutes. Let me see, let's go to what the temperature's doing in the point. So right now, the point in 1 hour and 45 minutes is at 90 degrees. In the flat, it's at 145. It's almost at the target of 165. And the temperature inside, the drops is where I've opened up the lid. It started to increase here to about 313. So I closed the damper a little bit more. So this is where I have the damper at right now. It's about 1/8 open. I had it right there. Temperature went down a little bit too much, so I opened up about right there, and it's on about a 1. So that's about where I've got it, and it's been maintaining the temperature right about 250 for quite a while now. It started increasing to 213. I closed a little bit too much. It dropped down a little bit. Then I adjusted it, and then it's been keeping pretty steady temperature. Pretty impressed. It's pretty good. This brisket is not going to take as long as I thought it was going to take. So right now, internal is 145, and that is in the flat. Take a look inside. That's what the brisket's looking at. looking like right now. I just put a fresh piece of wood on there, that's why I got some smoke, but it's been burning pretty good. But right now I got a pretty good color on it. Put a piece of hickory down there a little while ago, and still got plenty of coals in there. And I moved I had the brisket. It was over here, but I swung it more over onto coals so that more heat could get onto the point. And so that's the only thing I've really done differently so far. This bar was over here. It was going like this, and I just swung it over here so it's more over the coals. Alrighty, so that's an update, 2-hour update. Approaching the 4-hour mark, and right now the temperature in the flat is at 144. The temperature for the point is at 176, and the internal for the pit is at 173. So it's been staying in this 260, this 260, 275 area now for several hours. It's pretty good. But I want to introduce something new to my channel. It's what are you drinking? Well, everybody always likes to introduce like what they're drinking, some hoppy IPAs and stuff like that. Well, I'm drinking this today. Yes. This is 2019 year. It comes from the Ziffin Hills region, and it has a little cap that you twist off. And here, let's see how this tastes. It's good, a little watered down, but it's pretty good. I think I'll buy this again. What do you know? There's the Ziffin Hills region. It's 100% natural too. It's something called Springy Waders. Yeah, Springy Waders. Yeah, see right there, Spring Waders. So I haven't determined yet if I'm going to wrap this or not. I'm probably just gonna let it ride. The flat being 145 and the point is at 145 and the flat is at 178. Let's see what kind of color we got on this thing. It's looking pretty good. Here, I'm gonna take this off. So that's what it's looking like right now. So we got a nice color on there. Okay, beautiful color. That is not burnt, so some people out there, some keyboard cowboys out there might say, oh, that's burnt. No. You can actually have a brisket could be completely black, and it will be perfect. So now it's actually shrunk up some, so it's shrinking because it was almost touching the coals, and it was actually touching the water there, but it is actually shrunk up now. So it's coming in pretty nice. It's starting to pull back. I think I'm just gonna let it ride. All right, so when that flat hits, the internal temperature and the perfect temperature of 205 in that flat area, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna separate the two. I'm gonna chop up the point, and I'm gonna make some burn ends. I'm gonna put some Splenda brown sugar, which is keto friendly, low carb, and also no sugar. And I'm gonna put some unsalted butter in there. And I might even put in some Chinese 5-spice, because Chinese 5-spice has got cinnamon, has ginger, has a lot of really cool sweet stuff. And instead of adding the honey, I might do some Chinese 5-spice in there. Sounds pretty good. We're gonna let it ride. It's right at the 4-hour mark. Okay, so update on the Okj Bronco temp gauge. Right now, I have one right next to the temp gauge. It's reading 266. Right here, you got 250. You got right there is 275. It's right in between. Right about 266. So the temp gauge on the Okj Bronco is spot on accurate. Okay, so the internal temperature for the flat is about to hit 205, and the temperature for the point is at 162. So right now the point is going through a stall. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna chop up that. I'm gonna make some burn ends out of that, or just wrap that up and put it back in there. And then this I'm going to wrap in some foil and set it on top of here and keep it warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it out now. All right, here we go. It is, oh yeah, time is, it's almost 2 o'clock. So this has been in here for 6 hours now. So this is 6 hours, the flat's done, and the point still needs some work. That is a good looking brisket. So if I can keep under the dome under about 200, or maybe right about 200, I think that'll be a success. I think I can do pretty good with that. I'll get about an hour and a half inside that foil to cook inside that all that deliciousness, and possibly stir it up, check a temp of it. But I think by another hour and a half, they should be probably right about that 200, 205 area. I love that I came up with that idea. That comes in handy. All right, so underneath the dome there is 169. Inside the pit right now is a perfect 250. This thing is holding temperature absolutely gangbusters. I added a little bit of some lump to there, but it was maybe about a handful, and I really probably didn't need to add that. But this thing has really been really efficient. I'm really surprised. The update right now, about another half hour, I'm going to pull everything off probably and check it. It is right now 3:22. Got about 8 more minutes until I take the burn ends off. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna take the flat off. I'm gonna cover those, put them in a pan, and I think that those are pretty good right now. The temperature on the inside is at 163 underneath the dome, and that's perfect for keeping that flat warm. Next is gonna be the point. Gonna check that out and see how tender that is. Alright, it's time to pull burn ends. See how these are looking. Look at those. Ain't that beautiful? Ain't that a sight? Wow. Oh no, dropped one. Nope. Still sticking. That's pretty tender. Nope. Not going in like butter yet. Nope. Gonna put these in for about another 30 minutes. Alright, just hit 4 o'clock and the pit is currently at 280. I did not add anything else. I did not add any more coals to the pit. It is at 280. So that's 8 hours, 282. I'm calling this done. I'm going to pull these burn ends. I'm going to let them rest for about an hour or two. Then I'm going to cut into the flat. Next time is going to be the taste test. So the meat is now rested for about 2 hours, and here comes the favorite part, the cutting in and the taste test, which I'm pretty sure is going to be really good. Oh yeah, I've been wearing this hat the whole time. Y'all go check out Darren Fire and Water. He sent me over this hat. I wore it in another video, but hey, I like the hat. It's comfortable, and I tend to wear hats a lot. So, oh my goodness. All right, there we go. All right, so the grains are running this way right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut right here. So I haven't looked, so boom. There's the first one. It's the very end of it. Oh yeah, look at it. It's got a pretty nice little ring right there. That's the very outer edge. That's what you want. Alright, so here you go. There's that. Perfect. Hold it his own weight. Seems pretty good to me. Has a really good beefy flavor to it, and none of the spices really overpower it, and that's what I want. I mean beef, I want to eat beef. Except for when I eat burnt ends, and I kind of want to eat candy. It's got a nice fat cap on there, but I like keeping a fat cap on that flat because it does keep everything nice and juicy underneath. Now, a lot of people like to trim that, but you can trim that fat off, and I think it's perfect. And the spices on there, like that Chinese 5 spice, you can taste it. And then with the It's Incredible, then also the Heath Riles garlic jalapeno rub. It kind of gives like that salty and kind of like a sweet balance. Really good. All right, this ain't no mukbang, so I'm not a crunchy munchy. So it's good. Move this over and let's get the burnt ends out. There you go. Here's the burnt ends. Each piece has been coated and it looks like candy. That's what you want. Look at that. Nice and dark. I think it's beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and just stir this up a little bit. Get those juices all around. This juice you can actually use for the flats as well. I'm probably gonna pour some of this juice onto the flats. Don't want to drop another piece. I really look forward to this. Get a burn in. And take that piece right there. Focus. There you go. It just falls apart. It's like candy. The butter, the ginger. Wow. That's good. They're like little nuggets of meat candy, and that's exactly what you want. Look at that. Anyhow, like, subscribe. I'll see y'all next week. Ciao. I'm enjoying this.